Well, welcome back to Newcastle Gold Cup for 2024, live from the Malabula Sports Complex, Tanilba Bay, Port Stephens Local Council, Mid-North Coast. Lovely weather we're having here. It's a bit sprinkly, it's a bit overcast, a bit glary. And we have the Sugar Magnolias. Sugar Mags are the home team. They will be playing host now to Greater Western Sydney. GWS, who are hotly favoured to go a long way in this tournament. And the Sugar Mags, who are very much still developing. Leanne King, still in her light there. Just running through a last few instructions for the team. GWS. Sugar Magnolias, they'll finish up their huddle. See Brittany McCarthy actually having come across to help the Sugar Magnolias out. A little bit short on numbers, so deadline day trade happening between the Sugar Magnolias and U-Beam. And King is changed into a dark, so she's ready to play. Interesting conditions here. It is very glary out there. Both teams a little bit slow to get on the field. Already 3 minutes gone in this game. A tough tournament though. Plenty of hard-fought games. Molly Chang there talking with Betty Tan. Tan, such a deadly two-way player. Can throw, can run. Local fans of Ultimate. Eleanor Yu had a great game yesterday. Her pull will roll and come a long way back. So Emma Gearing to pick up for the Sugar Magnolias. Gearing's going to go the inside out, looking for Kirsty Murray. Murray's got position, and Gearing drops it in the end zone. Well, that's a start for the Sugar Mags. Gearing has that kind of ability to really reach out, get the disc to the end zone from a large portion of the field. She's still 35 metres out from the end zone. Jams the inside out backhand rather than going the forehand. So McCarthy here. Congratulations to her for her selection to the Australian women's team, the Firetails. She'll be playing for Australia later this year. The World Ultimate Championships going to be held in Brisbane. Long line call. McCarthy. Outside in, backhand. So Boudib, has Eleanor Yu going. Boudib spots her, but it's late. It'll give Neville time to catch up. And enough pressure. Yu can't get it done. Tilly Smith going back for the disc, picks it up. Looking for something, goes the reset to McCarthy. Neville. Oh, and Neville's forehand floating up. So the turnover's there, GWS. Yuin to Chow. Now Yu. Yu's going to look to throw the score. Open receiver in Amy Lee. She continues her excellent record of scoring plenty of points. She opens her account for this game. Definitely has a nose to the end zone, Amy Lee. There's a sense of who has the Frisbee and when she needs to get to the spot and what spot she needs to get to. Kind of thing can be taught, but it also does rely a little bit on natural talent. Clearly, Amy Lee has plenty of that talent. You can tell that by it seems that she's on the spot early. She arrives where she needs to be, and she's there, a number of seconds before she needs to be there. Ten. Getting the gun out. Goes with the non-throwing arm. Whitehead. And we'll set it to Leanne King. McCarthy has to work real hard against Trinity Doan. And then there's the throw. Yu gets up. She gets into the flight path. Adams had steps and was going long. G. Oh, she's going to overthrow Michi Sano. And then King is just going to put it back in the end zone. It's caught well up high. Emma Gearing. The Sugar Magnolias happy to trade blows at this time. King just returning serve. Sees Gearing there, and Gearing just taking position away from Betty Tan. Been great to watch the development of Emma Gearing. Started playing Newcastle Uni. She's always a big thrower. The first few nights she was wanting to throw long, and over time she's developed her athleticism and become much more of a well-rounded two-way player, able to get down the field, be a threat in the end zone, create some movement for the offense with the legs as well as with the arm. lot of hard work by the young Gearing. String of Newcastle League titles as well to her name, having played for the Lord Cardigan Ultimate Frisbee Club. Had an enviable run. Oh, and there's a throw there. Angela Pigeon is streaming deep, and Tan's throw just sliding away from her. So the Sugar Magnolias up 2-1 in this game. A turnover. Long way to go, 64 metres. A little bit less, according to John Greenfield. Around the edge to Neville. Oh, foul called. Eleanor Neville getting caught up with Mel Boudib. Hannah Neville in the red boots, the one who caught the pass. Neville just bundling Boudib over. Going from the blind side, I think Boudib just not expecting it. She did a bit of a barrel roll. So it'll stay with Murray here on the near sideline. Murray guarded by Tan. Oh, that's asking a lot. Tan on the mark, doing enough to force that throw wide. Boudib. She goes to the disc and goes quick. And in front, King plays the poach. She's just watching the eyes of Boudib. Jumps the pass. And now Murray. The Sugar Magnolias. Trading blows with GWS. Murray shakes the cutoff. Asks for the under. Neville. A break throw. It'll ask a lot of Retzlaff. Pigeon's the one who comes out of the stack. Now Tan. The deep cut's there. It's Megan Nguyen. Tan had loaded up. She had the gun out before. I think that one's called Troy. The other one called Des. And Des on that one. No shortage of range on the Betty Tan forehand. King. She can access that break side if she wants it. Got that beautiful low release. Murray rides the reset. Oh, and Pinchard's going to jump that pass. Just acceleration past Retzlaff. GWS get another one. Boudib just gestures for Eleanor Yu to open up the space. And there it is at the start of the end zone. Joanne Chow in the end. GWS level it up at 2-2. So an early timeout call. See Chow, she's just going to work at the number 2 spot. Lets Tan go first. All right, so an early break. We'll fix our scoreboard. We'll go to a quick ad and we'll be back.
Those who do not know their history can never relive it. The skies, the dives, the sideline smiles. Our past is held in photo albums, drinking stories. The present is a gift. And here at ULTI.TV, we want to make sure we always appreciate it, capturing the immortal moments of Ultimate from around the world and making sure everyone can enjoy them for free, forever. Because the future belongs to all of us.
Yeah. Oh, and even against us. Yeah. Counting for experience, I guess we're stuck in the kids on the same race. Sounds good. Catch it in.
I think the way the game is poised at the moment, not too many adjustments either team really needs to make. I think GWS just need to relax into the game, settle into the game. And for the Sugar Magnolias, I think on offense they need to be more assertive with their cutting. I think they need to shift Kirsty Murray down the field. Sugar Magnolias with no shortage of throwers. They had great success with Murray down the field. Playing that old-fashioned power receiver. They used to call the power receiver. They were the one who kind of broke from the stack out of the dead disc situation. They got the disc, and then they were the ones who were looking for the long throw and had the range to get the disc down the field. Monica Chang, injured but still helping. Great servant of ultimate. Mel Boudib to Paul, sharing a joke with Eleanor Yu. And Timmy G on camera there, lending his wealth of knowledge and experience in ultimate. Coaching this GWS team. So Smith. McCarthy. Power out of the stack. Adams goes and she's spotted by McCarthy. Adams. That is definitely the primary option. McCarthy to Adams. Now Huck looking for Sano. Tara G just putting it on her. And now Yu. Dangerous spot for her. She's going to look for the end zone. Around the edge. That's the score. Alicia Nguyen. GWS. They score again for their third. This, of course, to go straight into the finals. Results here impacting the top two teams. Oh, that's a minor disaster. So GWS, there's a pick call before the disc is in play. Gearing calling it because she got hung up on the stack. It'll be G to pick up the disc Conversations flying in from the sideline to make the adjustments. This a break for GWS. G. So dangerous. She breaks the mark, but it's low for Chow. It's going to come back. Jackie Andronicus on the mark. G calling foul. Andronicus just agreeing with her. G goes straight through it. G instead will go to the other side to Tan. This time she's got Des out. So GWS for the first time this game, they are up a break. And I'm going to look up the results. So 5 women's teams here this weekend. GWS, Sugar Magnolias, of course, the 2 teams in front of us. The Manly Margaritas, Factory Flash, and Rogue. So the results as they stand with this time slot pending. The Sugar Magnolias are 0-3. GWS are 1-2. Factory Flash is 2-1. Manly Margaritas have gone 2-2. And Rogue are 3-0. So between these 2 teams, a win here might see Sugar Mags sneak in to that 4th spot. However, it seems for both these teams a chance at the final has gone begging, and more than likely, oh my word, that is a great lunch. Around now for Ironbark enjoying the amenities. The sausage Segasaw. Big thank you to the volunteers that have come along and kept the water films up, kept the barbie stoked. You can see that the lunch has been well enjoyed. Coming back to the women's final, it seems like it might be a Rogue Factory final. Unless something interesting happens with the Manly Margaritas. Well, they've got a goal difference of -18, so it seems like it will be Rogue Factory to play the final. Come over on the live stream. Field is Leanne King. Looks for Emma Gearing. Oh, Leanne King is absolutely launched that, but it's the athleticism of Angela Pigeon that allows her to catch up to the disc, as Gearing had steps initially. And now, Eleanor Yu for GWS. Michi Sano gets him off the sideline. Nguyen to Alicia Nguyen. And now Budib. In power position is Budib. Decides instead to go to Pigeon. Pigeon looking back to the middle of the field, not really wanting it on the sideline. Sano comes out. It's big though. And Flick Whitehead benefits. Here's Adams. Gets it to McCarthy. Gearing needs to go again. This time she's going to go under against Pigeon. Adams is gone. And Gearing's going to reach for Adams. Adams gets up there. A drop in the end zone could prove critical. GWS have not given the disc back often. Into Pigeon. Power out of the stack. Budib. Sano's gone. Budib's going to send it. It is going to float though. It's going to give Leanne King some time. And Leanne King gets there. The veteran. And immediately she punches it straight back through the middle of the field to McCarthy. And Gearing, realising there's not much in front of her, gestures off. She's going to hang that all the way out there. McCarthy's going to have to do a bit. Doesn't come back. Should come a long way up, potentially all the way to the water cooler that's marking the approximate halfway line. Our camera is on the halfway line, so King just takes the position there. Experienced stuff. I wonder how many thousands of deep throws she's faced in her illustrious and lengthy career. Eleanor Yu, deadly yesterday, has not really seen much. Here's Ruiz. Nguyen, Sano. Now Yu. Yu looking for something. She sees it, but the disc has popped up again. Leanne King tested in the air. This time Charlotte Kong, the target. She protected the drop zone really well. King doing enough to make it difficult. So King gesturing, marshalling her offense. Whitehead opens up the space for Gearing. Adams, who's gotten a long way free. And McCarthy power cutting from her, back of the stack. Tilly Smith. Good decision, the give and go from Smith. Opens up the throwing lane. Adams just around the corner, missing Gearing. Oh, Nguyen sees something that she likes. It's King getting tested again, this time Pigeon, the target, getting away. Well, it's not due to a lack of bravery on behalf of Sugar Mags that they find themselves down 5-2 in this game. They are getting their opportunities. Leanne King showing some tough defensive work there. 3 times got tested. Got to turn on 2 of them. As a defender, having a success rate of only 1/3 against you. Pretty good. The boys are, well, they're either playing Power World or they're watching the live stream. It's one or the other. I'm not, so I can't say with any kind of confidence which it'll be.
I saw something that I liked.
Tan with both Des and Troy out now. We've seen Des, we've seen Troy, but never have we seen both combined. Oh yeah, that is a great pull. Teresa Kai. Oh, she's going to miss Hannah Neville. Here's Tan. Tan to you. Has Doan, but Kirsty Murray occupying so much space in the throwing lane. Just makes it messy enough. Tan missing you. And Murray picks it up. Retzlaff out of the stack. Murray. Oh, that's a sharp one. Murray is just going to send it to Adams. Adams going to have to beat 2. Hughes there, but Adams is going to get the scrap. She lays out for the score. Danny Adams for the Sugar Magnolias and their 3rd point of the game. Well played by Yu. Big grin on her face. She had it. And then she didn't have it. Adams, awareness, not giving up on the play. Just continues on. Quickly becoming one of the legends of women's ultimate in Newcastle. Here's Danny Adams. Gearing. And you can see the power that I'm talking about. She's punched that, and it was still going. You win. Oh, no, she's going to miss. Doan and Kai getting tangled. The Sugar Magnolias a turn and an opportunity. Smith and King. Here's McCarthy. Great addition. G's taking the match up there. King breaking to Fishenden. Fishenden is going to try and find Whitehead in the middle of the field. GWS get it back. Some intense defense for them. G, the throw and go. Chow back to G. Good idea. G going with a bladey flick to Sano. She's right on the end zone line, not quite in. And then the throw to Chow to finish it. GWS. Oh, tough running for them. Gee, understanding that easy to overthrow Sano, so outside in, just putting the disc to her. Drops a little bit short potentially of what G was aiming for, but a completion far more important than a score. And Sano does the rest. Manipulating the defense, just looking to the right and then going back to the left. 6-3, it's been a good game. GWS putting together a pretty good performance, and the Sugar Mags, they've had some really good passages of play, really positive stuff for both these teams as they head into their seasons. Budib to pull for GWS. Neville and McCarthy. Murray setting the stack, and now power receiver. Lots of defenders playing off the back of the stack, realizing that the Sugar Magnolias are willing to send it. McCarthy points to where she wants it. Retzlaff under a bit of pressure, catches the disc. Retzlaff going to look for McCarthy. Oh, that is just a fraction too far. Hard to make that throw. That short range forehand, one of the toughest throws to make in Ultimate. Saved by Lee. Now here's Yu. Yu spots Nguyen out the back. Great throw by Yu. Now Kong gets the reset, goes back, centralizing the disc. Amy Lee providing the cut, and she will not finish this. Nguyen just missing. McCarthy going to pick it up for the Sugar Magnolias. And McCarthy. Oh, Neville, a wobbly forehand. It'll go to ground and then roll out of bounds. Megan Nguyen. She picks it up for GWS. Yu, center of the field. Good idea to have Yu with the disc here. Gestures what she wants. Moment Struggling to get the cuts, because if she gets the cuts, she'll do something like that. Will Eleanor Yu. Her first assist of the game. It's been a long time coming. 7-3. Confusion on the sideline as to the score. Mel Boudib having some difficulties with the scoreboard. So potentially half time for GWS coming up. Tan. Beats the brick mark. Whitehead for Sugar Magnolias. He's gearing. Has Kai going. Gearing. Getting it to her. No. Nguyen. Defensive running there. Megan Nguyen. Close enough that she can get involved. G. A wide centering pass. Chow. Well, that's going to go high. Pigeon there to clean up the scraps. Well, that's Anita Ung, rather. Murray finds herself in the right spot. Gearing. Enormous bid. Oh, Gearing's hopped up and realised that she's knocked the wind out of herself. Apologies to Anita. She wears the plait and the ribbon, much like Angela Pigeon. But obviously, Angela Pigeon does not play for GWS. I'm glad I caught that one before the end. Hung there on camera. Ridiculously athletic as well, much like Pigeon. And now G, she sees Ung down the field. Broken field, Tan to Chow. Well, that's half-time. GWS 8-3 in this one. A lot of positives to talk about for both teams at the half-time break. Sugar Magnolias have been good. They've had some real moments of just straight up good ultimate. And GWS, you can see they're trying to put things in place. They're trying to play a certain style of ultimate. And at times it's not working, but they're sticking with it. They're showing that tenacity. Playing the way they want to play. Throw by Tan to Chow. Well-controlled backhand. So we'll play a quick couple of ads. We'll play some replays and we'll be back for the second half of this women's match between Greater Western Sydney and the Sugar Magnolias of Newcastle.
That's when they timed out. Yeah, we did. Watermelon. Wow.
So back after half-time, Trinity Doan with the Frisbee. McCarthy can't affect it. She got in the way nearly. Sano. Now back to Charlotte Kong. Kong has Doan getting across the stack there. Doan to relieve some pressure. Tan, it'll get big on her. Murray's gone. Neville needs to pick it up and huck it to her. I don't think Neville's got that throw. And Murray, speedy receiver. She was a long way down the field. Murray, Neville. And so, Mel Boudib will pick it up. And I'm going to get a special guest here. John Greenfield, welcome back to the commentary booth, friendo.
Thanks, Dan.
How have you been?
Oh, really good, mate. Yeah, we had a quarterfinal win against Crank, but this game is still live here.
And the Sugar Mags have had some really bright moments. Whitehead, Kirsta.
Yeah, that's right.
Just as she threw the backhand. Oh, that is a big throw by Boudib. It will hang, though, so Adams has time. Sano protecting the drop zone.
Look, there's a little bit of contact, but no call. So it was a good hustle there from Danny.
Whitehead to Murray. Murray, who's been a revelation for the Sugar Mags team. McCarthy, the assist to Neville. Murray.
Oh, good grab.
Tries it again, and McCarthy gets it that time. She's just going to lay it out in front of Murray to go and get. And Murray will get it indeed. Sugar Mags get their fourth.
Those two are just looking for each other, I think, whenever they get the disc. Brittany McCarthy, new rookie on the Firetails. And Kirsty Murray, I think, very unlucky not to get picked on one of those teams. Great athlete. Now let's have a look at this again. Really helps that Britt is got very good throws and she's a lefty. Makes her very dangerous on the field, and that's bread and butter for Kirsty Murray. This one, good grab. Oh, yeah. So it was basically a big give and go, Dan.
It was a very big give and go. And, around those selections, I think isn't it an advantage to have a lefty-righty kind of pairing? Do you think, inherently?
Very much so. And she's good enough. She's a puller on the D-line for Firetails. And also, but I don't think they've yet unleashed the beast of her lefty backhand as a strike weapon. But it's great to see the Sugar Mags out here. Gee, they have really struggled to maintain their core experienced players just through injury, people moving on, children. So, but they're always there, and they've been there since 2003. And last year was as the 20th anniversary. They used to be famous for their strawberry daiquiri parties.
Yeah, the Sugar Magnolias have done a lot of cool stuff over the years. For a long time, we're at the top of the game, and before it was Division 1, before there was a split division, the Sugar Mags were there, and they were in the conversation. Oh, this is a throw that Gearing will benefit from.
I saw Giro do an incredible layout. I actually felt it sitting down on the sideline. Good to see her up and about now.
It's a big old bid. Smith caught with it. Oh, she's just going to send this. It might fall.
Oh, Taz almost picked up the scraps. GWS have got some very good long throwers.
Speaking of, here's you, who heard John Greenfield talking, and he's just going to put it into Chow. And GWS.
Chow is a great receiver. Very sprightly. And that was a very good read. She backed up, saw that it was going over the head of the defender. Yeah, so GWS are also going through some growing pains. They've lost quite a lot of experience from last year. But they've brought in Coach Tim G, whose partner Tara G is also a key player for GWS. So that'll be interesting to see how the girls go with Tim as coach. Can he empower them to be a better team?
It wasn't too long ago that GWS, they're on the verge of semi-finals. They made one semi a few years ago.
And they have also gone for a lot of changes in their short time. And I love the idea that the epicenter, if you like, of Sydney Frisbee was always sort of North Sydney. Then they had, but these girls sort of came in from the west, Greater Western Sydney. And
Hills Ultimate is originally where the core of that, and Hannah Monty. Living in Canberra now, so, like you said, those growing pains and people moving, shifting around. Monty, who was young and such a great talent.
Yeah.
Insane athlete.
Great pull.
Yeah, another great one from Betty Tan. McCarthy. And here's Gearing. Adams. Gearing.
Oh, great catch.
Sharp to Dupree in the middle. So Nguyen gets the disc in play for GWS. Michi Sano. Tan wanting to get the tempo lifted for GWS. You see her looking, wanting that short throw. The leading forehand. Tricky throw.
I've noticed a lot of those throws on that side, they got the inside out when they needed the outside in. Oh, sorry, mate.
How's my water taste, John?
It's really good.
I hadn't opened that one, so please have at. I've got one that I've opened. I think it's all good.
Oh, damn, Dupree. That's such a shame.
Not the first time we've shared a drink bottle.
Yes, that's right.
The win, again, getting it into 10. And here's Mortimer, who's here for today. Big inclusion for GWS. Missed the first day yesterday. Nidang. Looking to the end zone to Nguyen.
Might I say, it was that same throw. A little bit of inside out for a leading runner. That is difficult. Make it easier for your receiver.
Outside in.
Outside in, a little bit of air. Flick here now.
Whitehead gets it to Adams. Adams. Neville.
Under a lot of pressure there on that in cut.
I'll come back to Neville. Sano. Mortimer. Sano combining. And there it is. Giro trying to stop it. Gearing another layout bid for her.
She bounces up off this one.
Just got a willingness to get after it. GWS, they're 10th.
It's good to see Kay Moz out there. I'm not sure why she wasn't there. Oh, gee, that was close.
Yeah.
So what do we got now? It's 10-4. Yeah, this one's getting away. It was looking very competitive and tight. And it's just some of these midfield errors with drops and, yeah.
Well, just thinking and talking about the Sugar Magnolias' future, their development, them rebuilding, finding that core of experienced players. The two Neville girls have been a bit of a revelation.
They have.
Hannah and Eleanor.
Definitely, they've been a real bright spark for the scene because they're at uni. They're involved in developing the uni Frisbee. And that's the lifeblood for this team as well. Retaining those girls out of university. But
young Tilly Smith out there as well.
Tilly Smith,
who reliably informed me that she isn't 18, she's 19 and a half. John, not 18, 19 and a half.
Yeah, okay.
After I guessed poorly yesterday on stream, saying that she'd only just turned 18.
Oh, she got back to you, did she, for the correction?
She corrected me on that one, and, I thought it only fair that we air the correction. Tilly Smith is 19 and a half. Still plenty of Frisbee in front of her and her career.
Yeah.
And here she is.
Oh, no.
Well,
we'll put the curse on her.
It's unfortunate. It's almost like she knew the spotlight was on her. G walks to it. She's going to look for the end zone. Yu has gotten some steps.
Oh, that's a good throw.
Walk us through it, John.
Yeah, well, again, what we were saying before, you don't want that inside out to a leading thrower. That was a lovely outside in. But the key to it was using the back area of the end zone there and letting her run onto that. Leanne King there was protecting the front of the cone as you would do. So let's have a look again. Yeah, she turned, broke deep, and that was just too much ground to cover for Leanne. Almost got a little bit of help there from Jackie. Yeah, so they're the sort of girls we need to bridge that gap between the university and the club team. I'm sure they'll do it.
Well, both Eleanor Neville, Hannah Neville, Tilly Smith, none of them have looked overawed.
Yeah.
GWS are a solid team. Depending on how they go, they may go to Div 1.
Yeah. And
so, having them out here on the same field as those kinds of players, the caliber of players and not look, completely like you're drowning. To be young and, fresh to the sport, great sign for their future.
Yeah, that's something that they've got. A bit of natural confidence and attack on the disc. I love it. And they're willing to, not going to die wondering with their throws either.
Oh, you. That is a pull that Jim Garvey would be proud of around the light post.
Yes.
Jim used to go on the old fields at Newcastle.
Yep.
Outside in. And
that was a lovely throw from Tilly. Good cut from Whitehead. Oh, no, that was Neville there.
Yeah, Hannah Neville.
It's these ponytails coming out of the back of the hats that are...
It'll throw you off.
Oh, well done. There you go. She's attacked that disc. That's good to see.
So it's Smith set up as the dump, trying to get away.
Oh, that's a shame.
Just tight defence.
Foul call.
Come back.
What I'd love to see, Dan, with the Sugars on their offence, I haven't seen them once do a dump and swing across the field. And I feel like they've been squeezed into this forehand corner.
So width.
Yep, Danny just not able to hang on to that. It was certainly a sharp angle. GWS with a lot of confidence now, putting that disc at the back of the end zone.
Seems like they're rolling.
Yep.
The Sugar Mags, the bright sparks that they've had early in this game, they're getting fewer.
Yep.
GWS, I think, are very much just warming into the game, taking control, as good teams do.
And as a bit of a circuit breaker, because at the moment Sugar Mags haven't really been able to get beyond half, I wouldn't mind seeing just a circuit breaker, long play, get it down there, make GWS work at the length of the field. There's a little bit of breeze. It's a bit hard to see here from the commentary booth which way it's going, but I'm imagining that left to right is... Oh, it's going, yeah. So left to right is into the breeze. So, yeah. We'll soon see with this pull. Now, Mon here helping out with the coaching. I'm not sure. I did speak to her. I didn't know that she was actually injured. I'm not sure that she is, but I imagine she'd be playing if she wasn't.
She's hurt this weekend.
Yeah, okay.
Ms. Monchan. GWS only a few points away.
Right. Yeah, that breeze, you can really feel it now, right to left. Just as she's about to pull.
Yeah, no real breeze to speak of until kind of now.
Yeah.
So potentially a complexion change. Gearing, the in and the way, and she bids. Gearing just...
Yeah, it was a side...
So willing.
So willing.
And I think that willingness is not one of those things that you can teach. Mortimer sneaking one through to Nguyen. Sano, it holds up in the air. And Neville, the clatter. Andronicus, rather.
Yeah. Okay. This will be interesting. We'll see this on the replay. It looks like it's an uncontested foul. Bring it up. Yeah, I think Jackie there had pretty good position, but I think she did clatter into her a little bit. All right, on the end zone line. Ooh.
Mortimer. That sticky left hand of hers. Clunks that and then shoots the goal into Anita Ung.
Yeah, it was a lovely catch there from Ung. That was a good cut. It wasn't the kind of throw you want to get as a receiver screaming across the end zone line. Kamos kind of put it as an outside in once again, angling away from the cutter, but she did really well to get her hands in the right position there.
John, I got a coaching question for you. Every other sport, look at things like American football, the rugby codes here in Australia. Monday morning after a game, the team will meet. They'll go over, the game itself. How do you think would be the best way of approaching that in Ultimate, in terms of digesting a tournament? Because we do play in a tournament format. We'll come here, we'll play, 6, 7 games, potentially over 2 days. What do you reckon would be the best way of digesting kind of the learnings from a tournament? Is it a group chat where everyone kind of throws their thoughts in, or is it something more formal, guided by the coach?
Yeah, well, I think it's very important that you do that. It's funny, being in Newcastle, they are just we're such a group of die-hard fitness enthusiasts that Monday morning you'll see a whole lot of posts coming through of pods going on around Newcastle where they're going a roll. Nationals is a 4-day event. We're going to put in 4 days of effort and not let their bodies recover. For a while there was Mayfield Pool had an ice bath, and that used to be the meeting point, the meeting of minds going through the plays. And video reviews, and we've been lacking that in the last year. But now we can do that, so the video reviews will be on again.
Okay. Gearing and King. Murray gets shut out by you, but Murray just manipulates the space so well.
This is better. This is better from Mags. That's good. I like this.
And now Murray. Sano gets in the lane. Murray, the low release flick.
Right.
To break it open for the Sugar Mags. Kai. High stall situation, waits for Murray. And now Murray reaching down the field. She'll have to beat Budib. Watching the thrower's eyes all the way was Budib. And here's you. Chow's going. The switch is called though. Gearing and Neville combining. Chow. You. Instruction really to break the flow. Gearing playing well off the back of the stack.
She knew that she had to protect that long throw. GWS, with the wind, we're always going to look for a fast break with a long throw. But Mel Bibb, yeah, she did really well. They'll break out of the stack. Got the poach D.
Break backhand by Gearing to Murray. Neville. It's going to fall, though, to Adams. Cleaning up the scraps. Teresa Kai looking towards Dupree.
That's a shame. A little bit more sit on that throw. It was not a bad option at all.
Irma Dupree was streaming deep. G. Oh, that is well placed and weighted. Chow. You. She's had a travel called on her with no mark. You makes up her space, taps the disc in. Budib gets clattered by a Dupree. That looked uncomfortable.
I think there might be an ankle here. Let's have a look. Yeah, it was just an unfortunate clash. And I think that's her left ankle that copped it. She hasn't moved from this position here. Oh, we've got the physio on hand coming in.
Yeah, the physio stationed at Tournament Central. He's seen something, so he's come for a wander. Some of those ankle collisions can be quite painful, especially if it's on the ankle bone. It forces you to roll your ankle or something.
Often when you actually tread on the other player's foot, there's a great chance to roll your ankle. Yeah, well, that last offense, Dan, much better from the Mags. What they were doing, they were getting the break throws and they were trying to get over to that high side of the field where they really need to start getting flow from up that sideline, which they did. And that was just that last pass with a little bit of execution lacking, not letting it sit for the receiver.
Yeah, and we have a lot of terminology in ultimate: the high side of the field, the low side, the strong side, the break side, the weak side. The high side, of course, as a thrower, if you're on the high side of the field, explain what that's like as a thrower to be on that high side. How does it differ from if you were on the low side?
Yeah, and it's often not that we're talking about the field angling a certain way, but that the wind direction, you want to be on the windy side so that your throws are just easier. You're not fighting into the breeze. Because
when you say easier in what way does that high side help?
Because you actually get they'll reach your receiver a lot quicker, so the defender does not get as much chance to make a play on the. Whereas if you're fighting into the breeze, they will get plenty of chance to intercept the disc.
Budib looks real stiff. Looks like it was a real uncomfortable one. Hopefully she's okay.
Straight to the table, I think, for Mel here.
So we're talking about the high side, so it just makes the throws a little bit quicker, a little bit easier to complete, whereas if you're on the low side, you've got to throw with more punch, you've got to put a little bit more oomph in it to achieve the same kind of disc speed.
Yeah, and you can imagine you're a handler on that high side in a zone, and you see a hammer across the field. Your chances of that hammer completing are so much greater if you're throwing downwind than if you're fighting into the breeze, and it will invariably sit in that breeze and be a target for defenders. So, yeah, that's the real advantage of the high side. And once you're there...
Fascinating to get inside the mind of John Greenfield, world-class thrower. It's always great to have these kinds of conversations around the finer points of the game because there's a lot to learn there and a lot of little nuance.
Well, I can tell you, 30 years playing, still learning.
Yes.
Still learning.
Well, we had a brief conversation about how the game had changed. At the last tournament we were at together, and is it fair to say that kind of how we throw and how we attack the field has changed over the years?
Yeah, very much so. A lot of that because defence has gotten a lot better. Also, so let's say in the 90s, if you had a good central handler who could throw long, that was gold. And if you added a good receiver on that, it's almost all you needed to be quite competitive. But the depth in ultimate has obviously increased, and the baseline skill level has increased. So suddenly, pretty much everyone on the field is a thrower. So possession has become a lot more important, and defenses have had to respond to that because it's now, if you get broken, it's really damaging. So that's been a really fundamental change since I started in the 90s.
And that's an interesting observation because it used to be very much up and down the field, lots of long throws, lots of direct ultimate. Nowadays, more noodling around.
And for that...
using width of the field.
Yeah, and for that you need different throws. Hence we've seen the rise of scubas, push passes, and more recently...
Well, not so much the push pass. Let's just pump the brakes there, John. We don't want to encourage the wrong things out of the next generation.
All right. But I'm only just getting onto my lefty brakes. I'm finding that a really useful throw.
We saw a great one in one of the earlier games. The teams have come back out after a brief injury timeout. They've gathered themselves, and GWS are just going to exploit the break side straight in.
Wow. No mucking around.
But we're talking, I think that is probably a really great indication of how modern teams play versus,
Yeah, teams of yore.
Yeah, teams of yesteryear. Exploiting the break side rather than there being that one power cutter out there on the open side, just in a foot race. Just trying to beat their opposite number.
Let's look at this. How did this break get out? It was an inside out, right at the front of the end zone, and then that just opened the field up like opening a can of baked beans.
Baked beans.
What's this? Little inside out, and the wind is just helping that along. And then you see they're lining up there on the break side. Just beautiful.
It's So what, because we're talking about, you know, the history of Ultimate and where it's come from, if you had a young player, right, and he's just come into the game, he's got tons of talent, and you kind of had your opportunity to mould that player into whatever you wanted, what direction would you go with him or her to make them the best Ultimate for the future?
Oh, well, solid fundamentals first. And I've noticed actually some of the younger players, they're incredibly athletic, but there's some fundamentals of catching that they're not getting. So I think there's some work there to be done. You really want to make sure their hands are rock solid, because you just can't. That's probably the first thing you don't want, are drops, you know, out of your hands. If you drop the disc, it'd have to be a very difficult catch. So that's a fundamental. Obviously throws, you know, getting those throws with really good fundamentals, really solid base, really balanced base. We'll come back to it.
I want to continue this conversation. I need to know. Whitehead should pick up for the Sugar Mags. McCarthy. And McCarthy with the double pump. Gearing's got underneath it. It's gotten big on everyone.
Giro just got sucked in there. She knew it. The head went back. She knew straight away that she just stuck to her ground, boxed it out, and then made the catch on her shorter defender.
McCarthy has given that a ride, and Gearing has thought it was going to drop short, but it just kept going. It just caught a little bit of air and continued on. So GWS set up their horizontal stack, and Betty Tan brings the disc up for them. Sano, as she's done all day. Doan. Here's Lee. The flow is there. Ung, who's been a revelation. Mortimer. A wonderful offense at the moment for GWS, using the width of the field. It's gone to ground. Asano laying out.
Was it a ground strip? Gee, she almost got that. Let's have a look. Caught it, ground stripped.
Heartbreaking. Smith, and McCarthy's going to have to go and catch this. Gearing's coming from the back. McCarthy bids.
She was never going to die wondering. The layout came even though she was probably a good 3 metres off.
Tan, that sneaking past Retzlaff. Chow just gesturing that no one was out, landed on the line. Smith apologising.
Yep, that
Pretty
was
clear.
And good spirit there from GWS.
Yeah, Joanne Chow had a great view of it. She was on the spot and immediately just helping a teammate out. Gearing going to the break side of the field. Nguyen comes in. Neville goes to ground.
Neville holding a knee there. Hope she's all right. She's coming off. Yeah, she kind of landed.
Got tangled with Kristen Mortimer.
Well, we might see another replay, but I felt... Oh, they brought the twin on, have they? Hang on. Who came on? It wasn't Murray that came on.
I think it might have been Murray who's come on to play defence on Mortimer. So Tan.
How solid is Betty Tan?
And there's a bid from Murray. Perhaps sensing that the Sugar Mags need a little bit of energy.
Wow.
Sano down low. Tan.
How good is Asana's hands?
And Doan. Looking for Tan. Tan creating the space for Mortimer to fill. Sano's in everything. Looking to lift tempo at the moment is GWS. There's Tan in a lot of space, and then Tan looking for Ung. Ung bids.
Wow. They play exciting brand of ultimate, don't they, GWS? Betty Tan, just so solid. We talk about fundamentals of throwing. Her fundamentals are excellent. Really good balance. Yeah, really lovely to watch.
Adams, McCarthy, Murray's gone. Yeah, it'll get sent. And Murray will have to beat Tan. And Murray not quite in.
Oh,
McCarthy's given that nearly everything she had, and it's just dropped short of the end zone. So McCarthy comes through, picks it up, and then Adams to the corner. Adams! The Sugar Magnolias team, they are more than happy to get horizontal.
yeah, the effort is there. I feel like they want the score so much, they're just a little bit rushed. I thought, no, Murray acknowledged that she definitely caught it before the line.
Trinity Doan is going to bring this up.
Not a bad idea. Lefty there. This is going to make any sort of reset a little bit easier. And, oh, look at that. Oh, well done.
Adams, tall timber, and she's going to put it in for Murray. Murray for the Sugar Magnolias, 5th score.
I was worried there, Dan, that they'd done exactly the same thing and rushed the throw. But you know what? Danny knew what she was doing and saw the space again at the back of the end zone there. Murray's safe. She's such an athlete. Let's have a look at this again. Just lifted the throw there. Danny Adams spots Murray, and why wouldn't you try to go for that target? And she got a lovely outside in, helping her receiver there. And we talk about fundamentals there. What Betty Tan, I think she would, with that particular throw, she'd be down. She'd be,
Much lower.
Much lower release point there.
And that's one of those experience things that comes with bringing the disc in coffin corner and turning it over and going back and thinking about what happened there. And oh yeah, the disc got away from me. It lifted. I lifted the front edge too much. Maybe I released it a bit higher. It'd get a little bit lower, get underneath the breeze a little bit, just so that the breeze actually helps it rise to the chest of the receiver.
Yeah.
Those little things.
Yep, and you'll find that coffin corner is probably the most common place that any defensive line will be picking the disc up from. Even the O-line, when they're in going back and forth in a transition, it's coffin corners where you're normally picking it up.
And it's a tough spot to be.
Yeah.
Really hard because the defense is set. Everyone's looking at you, and you're assessing the conditions. You're feeling the breeze, and you're thinking, "Oh, geez, how am I going to get this out of here?" Because it is very important that you do not turn it over.
Yep. Good pull.
Gearing.
Good pull from Gira.
Hugh goes to G. There's a streaming receiver in Chow. They go to Mortimer. Mortimer reaching for Ong.
Quite an athlete, that girl. Haven't seen her before, but she's athletic.
I did her dirty. I thought it was Angela Pigeon because of how athletic she was and the plait and the ribbon. But no, Anita Ong is an absolute revelation for GWS. I look forward to her career with great enthusiasm. Some of these plays have been a great promise of great things. Yo. Goes the around. Is going to ask a lot of K-Mort.
Yeah. Right idea. A bit too much juice on that one.
Eleanor Yu, who had the hot hand yesterday, really struggled in this game. Has struggled to get into it. Has missed some passes and only has the one assist, I believe, so far.
All right. We talk about coffin corner, and that's exactly where Leanne King's going to be bringing this disc up on. Let's see what she does here. Very experienced handler.
How many thousands of times has she done this? GWS, though, are playing downhill. They're all on this near sideline. The strong side of the field. Gearing.
Oh, Giro.
She's kept
I think
that
she got that in.
Toe down as she laid out.
Nice
One
work.
of the best games of Ultimate I've seen Emma Gearing play. Kai Andronicus. Oh, I think she might have been on the line. It looks like they're happy to play it on. Andronicus is going to launch it up in the air. A pack forms and Gearing trying to go over the top.
Couldn't really call anything on that one.
Yeah, you had a good spot there at the front. Tara G to Chow. Chow. The legs and the arse were going. She was overspeeded.
I feel like GWS now really just want to finish this point. They know if they get this point, it's game over.
Wow.
What a grab from Giro. But once again, Dan, a dump and swing is what's required there.
Yep. Andronicus was totally on the line. That's okay.
That's good.
The next pass.
It was a good effort, wasn't it?
Yeah, the next pass, the Frisbee gods kind of leveled the cosmic balance. Yo. Eleanor Yo. Mortimer gesturing back to G. G gets it now. And then out in front.
Oh,
Ong to finish it. And GWS deserved winners in this game. 15-5 the final score.
yes. They've shown their class. And Tara G, always... she was a junior coming up for the ranks, and you always knew she was going to be a handler. Yeah.
She predates this one.
She does, yeah.
She didn't play in 2010 because she was already...
too old.
Yeah, too old.
That's right.
I believe it was 2008 and 2006 for Tara G. Because I believe her younger sister Megan played 2008, 2010, but don't quote me. I might be a little bit dusty on the dates, given that we're over a decade removed from those years.
I think the thing we recognised with Tara right from the get-go, she was a natural handler. Yeah, she just had that sort of vision of the field.
Game sense,
and just a natural throwing ability. So she's continued that, and that last throw we just saw there, just a classic leading pass with lots of sit and making it easier for a receiver.
I think we'll close this out. John, any final thoughts?
Oh, look, two teams that are in transition and are looking to rebuild. I'm loving seeing the Mags out here just fighting for everything. I think both teams show a real willingness to hit the deck, and it's exciting for their future.
Well, John Greenfield, thank you very much for joining me in the commentary booth. We're going to go take a lunch break. We'll be back at about, I think, 1 o'clock for the next game. It'll be the women's final. So don't go anywhere. Tune in on ULTI.TV. My name is Daniel Clinton. We'll see you again soon.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
ULTI.TV